Sunday, November 10th. Uh, got a late start this morning, which was planned. Was cuddling with my wife in bed, so it's always a good thing. Um, and just spending time, not just, we woke up and talked, and yeah, that's what I'm trying to do on Sundays. I kind of was planning on getting up somewhat early and getting some time in here, some coding time in. But you, I could see going either way in terms of I could have gotten out of bed and then just gone back in once she woke up, or could have stayed there. I know she prefers it though if I stay there because she'll wake up and then I can be right there and roll over and hold her, and then she falls back to sleep. So I know she enjoys that. So that's definitely a big deal for her. So I try to oblige, and I haven't done that recently. So that was good, but definitely got a late start because of that. And then went to did some errands, grocery, and then went to the gym. Or no, sorry. Then did some coding, and then just got back from the gym a little bit ago. Probably going to do another half an hour of coding. So it'll get us to 3 hours of coding today, which still is pretty much what I was wanting to hit today, even with not waking up super early. I was wanting to hit 3 to 4 hours. So that's good. And yeah, I usually don't track my time on Sundays, and I don't go super hard in terms of really trying to get stuff done. Although I definitely could have done some reading this morning, so that's something I should have worked on. I am going to be switching, well, not switching up, but just changing a little bit how I do my daily updates going forward. I'm going to try to be a little bit more intense about, hey, here's what I'm starting, what I'm planning on doing for today. Like, these are the exact things I'm going to get done. And then reporting at the end of the day. Here's the things that I did, or whatever. I know I've kind of already been doing that, but to me it feels like it's more of a, hey, here's a list of things that I could possibly do today, and then the end of the day is just, how did I do? And so I'm trying to make it a little bit more of like, I'm really trying to hold myself accountable to the things that I said I would do at the beginning of the day. So a little bit more of a commitment and less of a documentary of what I'm doing. So cleared out everything for today. For tomorrow, not that. For tomorrow, here's what I have. Kind of a lot, but let me break it down. Well, I guess I'll break it down tomorrow morning, so I don't know if that's really worth doing it here. I'll just do that tomorrow morning. I think that's all then for me for tonight. Nothing too crazy happened today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to report on. I don't think so. I guess, yeah, just that little change in my reporting. Be more of a commitment than a reporting. Something I've been thinking about lately is just not seeing progress in my life when it comes to like physically, and then also from a not really salary, like monetary wise, but just progress in my career and making strides. We're selling that one property that we've got, and one of the two that we have. And after that gets sold, which hopefully is soon, we'll lose a little bit of money out of pocket, just for the costs and all of that, selling costs. But then after that's done, let me just bigify me here because I'm not going to be doing anything else on my laptop. After that's done, we won't really have any big expenses coming out, or we won't have anything big that will really change our savings. Right now, we've got savings and all of that, but it kind of feels like it doesn't really even count because we'll have big hits coming to it from the house. But after that's sold, then we're kind of done, and we're just saving up for our future house, and not a rental property, which is what we had previously been saving up for. But anyway, that's a lot of money, and we're kind of starting from zero, which sucks because we've been saving for houses for the past 3 years, um, and so we've been in that like mindset of saving, and now we're starting from zero to save for the next house, which isn't, I guess it's not that crazy, but it kind of is annoying for me. Anyway, I don't really know why I went over that. That wasn't the most. Didn't really need to go over that. I was noticing that on my body, not making that much progress, and then also in terms of like side projects that I'm working on, or just at work, I'm not making that much progress. And I feel like the main reason is because I just haven't been putting in enough uh, the energy to like get momentum, get that thing going. Like with my body, I think I made the analogy before that you've got like sleep slash like recovery, nutrition, and then your actual like programming at the gym. And each of those three things is like a wheel on a tricycle. And so if you don't do one of them, then you're just dragging an axle in the mud. But even if you're doing two of them like really, really well, so in this analogy, doing it really well would mean having like a really smooth wheel. There's no dents and divots. It's not wobbling a ton. It's nice and snug. So you could be doing two of those really well, but one of them you might not be doing super well on. So it's wobbly. It's got some dents in it, and it's gonna feel like, oh my goodness, either you're having to push incredibly hard, and in my mind, pushing is like the effort, or pedal incredibly hard. You're, you're gonna feel like you're exerting and putting so much effort and mental fatigue to just get as far as a peer of yours, someone else that is in a similar position to you. Um, yeah. Anyway, and so you could definitely be in this situation where there's a kind of that line that you cross between where you're putting in a lot of effort, but the wheels aren't super great, and so you're not really getting anywhere. And then eventually you kind of cross that line where that's the things start getting a little easier. Basically, you actually start seeing progress. But up until that point, you don't really see any progress. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel like I've been putting in a lot of work, but then I look back from tracking, and I haven't been eating as well as I should have. I'm doing that maybe 60% of the time. I go to the gym most of the times, but I don't do any outside of the gym, like workout sessions, trigger sessions, quick, get the blood pumping sort of things to help get that muscle adaptation muscle gain. I don't go hit my step counts, go my walks. Sleep also isn't very good. Like, I try to get to bed on time, and a lot of the times I will be consciously thinking like, oh, I gotta get to bed on time, but then I won't. Like I'll be a little bit late, or I'll hit it 4 or 5 nights in a row and feel like, oh, I'm really good, and then I'll have a really bad night, and then maybe just an okay night, and then we go back up. But you do that enough times, and anyway, still like 70% of the way there, and maybe even less. Anyway, I'm not really sure the best way to how to get that kind of crazy consistency, and that consistency at a good enough rate, because I don't really care about being consistent at 50%. Like that that doesn't matter if I'm consistently hitting the gym twice a week. Like, I mean, I guess that's better than nothing, but I need to be hitting like 3 times a week, and I need to be consistently doing my entire workout. A lot of the times I have to cut mine short. So, yeah, I guess just planning the day better, really sticking to a schedule, time boxing. That would probably make a big deal, especially in, like, for example, in here, we've got this upcoming section, and I can really plan out and time box everything. So this is what I did for tomorrow. Really tried to time box everything, which as I'm looking at this is like, oh, I've got a ton of things overlapping. Like, I can't do all of this. I gotta redo it. So, Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll definitely have to come in here and try to time box it a little better. Um, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I guess time boxing. The other thing I was thinking of, is it here? No, I don't think it's here. No, I think it's easy to be, or I find it easy to be busy or to um, waste time when I don't have an exact schedule. Like if I feel like, oh, I've got so much time during the day to get all these things done, and then it's easy to waste time. Versus if you know that you're got a very limited amount of time, obviously it shouldn't be too limited because then you get overwhelmed. And for me, if I get overwhelmed, I just push things off. But if I know I have a very uh, snug amount of time, but it's not too crazy, I know I can get it done. Then I'm less likely to procrastinate and to not get stuff done. Anyway, I was just kind of writing down. Hmm. Oops, things kind of cut off there. Um, I forget where it was. Basically, I was just realizing scheduling things out more, and really trying to focus on the big things that move me forward. Um, yeah, that like what 3 to 5 things a day that really like move me forward. Still scheduling those little habits like reading, 15 minutes of reading, like that's important. Definitely helps. A walk, but yeah, just really trying to be super on top of. Hey, these are the things that are really going to move me forward over the next month or 3 months. Really gonna make a big difference. So that's what I've got here. 3 months budget, 100 minutes of deep work. Um, Most of these things that have numbers next to them are kind of arbitrary. Like 100 minutes doesn't need to be that. Could be more, could be less. Hopefully a little more. 4 hours, again, like that's just people talk about 4 hours being a good chunk of time during the day. Once you try and do more than 4 hours of deep work during the day, you kind of tank a little bit, or at least 4 hours and like one big, uh, like in the morning, I guess. You could probably do some more in the afternoon. No days off in the gym, bed. I guess I should put another one here, like um, stick to your macros and with clean, with Whole Foods. But I can sit here and write stuff because that's what I've been doing forever. Oh, this is my new plan. This is my master plan. I'm actually going to stick to it. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. I know people talk a lot about self talk. My self talk isn't the best. Self talk in terms of like the way I've heard about people talking about it is if you want to be, for example, a senior developer and you're like a mid or a junior, and you're trying to get to that senior level developer, um, you can just kind of pretend to yourself like, oh, like I'm a senior level developer, and just uh, talk to yourself as if you are that, and you'll start naturally wanting to pick up more code reviews, insert yourself a little bit more into architecture conversations. A senior developer is going to be responding in a timely fashion. Maybe you're doing some deep work on something, so you're not responding right away, but you're definitely not going to be ignoring emails or messages, which you could probably get away with as a mid-level or junior. Um, anyway, other stuff like that. So maybe I just need to pick someone or an archetype or something that I can know, like, oh, like this type of person would be doing these things, and then I can kind of remind myself, like, hey, that's not what Jocko Willink would do, or whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna do some thinking on that. I'm gonna do some meditation on this. Go on some walks, and don't have earbuds in or be listening to anything, and just kind of noodle on this. So, all right, that was pretty rambling. Been rambling for a while, and it's not really providing much benefit, but just wanted to kind of talk about that, and yeah, see you guys later.